Mhm.
All right, cool. So it's your girl, the one and only Tay Jordan, and this is for the Culture podcast. If you missed me, I'm back. I had to go away for a while, let the people miss me, but it's long overdue. I'm really excited about the guests I have for my return episode. I've been following this guy for about 2 years on social media. And they say real recognize real. And I always am just intrigued by his tweets. I always find myself agreeing. And this guy just has a plethora of knowledge, expertise, whether it be the automotive industry, real estate. This guy just has a plethora of knowledge. So I'm really geeked and excited to, get some gems from him today, have a conversation, and this gentleman goes by the name of Terrance Clark. Terrance, welcome to the show, brother.
No, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure, man. So for those people that don't know you on social media just yet, I'm sure they will after the show. Tell the people, a little bit about your background, where you're from, and your upbringing a bit.
All right. Well, I'm from I was born in Maryland, but I was really raised in Delaware. I
Okay.
was raised in Bear, Delaware, right outside of Newark. But Delaware is small, so really to say it to sum it all up, I'm just from Delaware.
I always say I never really meet. That's a state. Like, there's black people in
Yeah,
Delaware.
and actually, shout out to people about to know who we are. We about to be on the stage in the NBA, so I'm excited about that. We got a young kid that's representing us out of Delaware this year, so it's gonna be fun. People that know Delaware a little bit more now.
Oh, it just got drafted.
Yeah, for the Nuggets,
Nice. What's his name?
Sean Hyland,
What school he went? What school?
VCU. They call him Busy Bones. He's nasty.
Nasty guard forward. What
He's
is
a
he?
guard. He's a guard, and he gets off. He knows how to score. He's a bucket.
Are you sure that's not a little hometown bias, or he
I
really is
promise you.
certified
No,
bucket?
nah, just look up the summer league stats. He is top five in scoring in the summer league.
Word. I
He-
should know this kid. Okay. That's
yeah,
what's up. We gonna have to talk some NBA later in the show too, because
yeah,
I know you get. You had a. I'm gonna leave that for later because you said some choice things about Vince Carter regarding Dwayne Wade, but we gonna get into
yeah.
that.
We'll get into it later, but yeah, whatever. But yeah, I'm from Delaware. I grew up playing basketball, competitive. I'm the oldest of three.
Okay.
Actually, I'm the oldest of four. I'm sorry, I'm the oldest of four,
Uh
and
oh. Don't leave a sibling out.
yeah, she's younger. We're real far apart, so it's but all love.
Right.
And yeah, so I grew up. My family was in real estate. Didn't really know too much about real estate growing up. Just besides that, our family did that. But besides that, I was a kid who played sports. I was the oldest child, so I grew up like really just kind of having like a leadership role in life. I feel like you have little brothers and sisters, so there was
Yeah.
no responsibility.
Mhm.
Um, Went to college, graduated from a small school in Pennsylvania. From there, that's when I got into auto sales, basically right out of college. And I was in auto sales for 7, 8 years. I did very well with auto sales. Something that I picked up. It's like a people business, and then it's sales. So did that for 8 years, and then got involved in the family business and real estate. So
Okay. So I want to talk a little bit about that because I noticed you said you what third generation, fourth generation in terms of real estate for your family. So yeah, so tell me a little bit about that. Like, what's the capacity? What capacity was your family in real estate? Were they brokers, agents,
nah, they
investors?
were
How did that look like?
investors. They were investors. My
Okay.
my grandparents, they came here from Jamaica, and
Mm.
my grandfather, he was like a tradesman, like a superintendent. He figured it out. I can't really say, what I mean. He's like somebody. My grandfather passed when I was 6, so a
Right.
lot of like the memories that I have like memories of the type of person that he was to me, but like who I know him as a person, that was all like stories. So like as far as like story wise, I tell you like he was real big on social currency and like exchanging with people and being able to add value to people and being good to people. People love my grandfather. They'll go out their way for him. So like that's like kind of like the memory. I say a lot of that's like probably like part of my foundation as the type of person that I am is because of like the stories that I know about him.
Got you. On the shoulder of giants. That's what's up. So the last name Clark, the legacy, it was there. Your grandfather seemed to have planted the seeds in terms of real estate, and it's just been generational. I think that's a beautiful thing, especially for Black people. You know. So what did that look like? I know that current day it's what over 200 units in your family's portfolio that you've
It's
helped
like
with.
it's probably like it's we control and it's partnership, so it's not all controlled by us, but we control 190 stores.
Yeah, that's a that's a flex. You know what I'm saying? Don't be humble. I mean, that's
I
a
mean,
thing.
honestly, it sounds crazy. It sounds crazy, but I
Yeah.
just know it's not. We not really where we try and be at. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
it's definitely opportunities out here, and it's it's ways for us to get more. Like
Mhm.
it's
For sure.
yeah.
So is that cemented in the Delaware market, North Carolina, or are you
We in
guys
North
kind of scattered?
Carolina. We in North Carolina for the most part.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
So born in Maryland, raised in Delaware. Did you do your college, your schooling
I did an
in
MPA.
okay, so you fairly well traveled. Okay.
I did that MPA. We only got out to North Carolina. My sister played for Lincoln University, and
Oh,
they played the CIAA tournament out here all the time. So we was coming out here.
okay.
And so, man, that's a nice area.
Mm,
Before we had been in New York, and so the market had got kind of
yeah.
crazy, like with the laws and the stuff that they're doing. It's a very, if it's a very tenant friendly state. Like if
From New York?
yeah, so like if you like, granted, the laws are very tenant friendly, but
Yeah.
you can find bad landlords too, just off the strength of everything so expensive. If you got to get something that's inexpensive, you're probably getting a bad land. Not, I ain't gonna say probably getting a bad landlord, but it's. I feel like it's possible.
Really?
Yeah, so that market is kind of crazy. We got out of that. We came to North Carolina, and North Carolina is just it's laid back. It's
Yeah.
the South, it let you know it's the South, but I don't. I've never had no problems out here. I feel like same thing. Just treat people good, help them
Yeah.
out. I don't really run into no issue.
Gotcha. So are you in Charlotte, Greensboro? Where you at?
I'm in Catawba County.
Okay. All
That's
right.
like it's like outside of Greensboro. It's like halfway in between Greensboro and Charlotte.
That's a bit of a change of pace, huh? Especially coming from,
Not really. Nah, where because even though Delaware's small, I will say I like grew up in Newark, Delaware, but like it's small, and the part that I lived in was like the suburbs, like how it is out here. Like
okay, so it's the same
not a
for
lot of black people. You know what I mean? It's not a lot of black people.
you, really.
But I grew up around that, so like I feel like
Used to it.
yeah, like I feel like I know how to handle them. You know what I mean? Like it's really just I don't know. I feel like you just make conversation with people. You look at them in the eye, like
Yeah.
unless you don't got no bad intentions. I feel
Yeah.
like energy be giving it off too. You know what I mean? Like
That's true.
so you got to be mindful of that. I just make sure that my energy is unless I need my unless I'm trying to make it so my energy is. You know what I
right.
mean?
If you want to make it an issue, it could be an
Yeah. Other than that, I'm trying to have a friendly posture. I'm trying to have a friendly look on my face. I'm not trying to start no
yeah.
problem. I don't want no problem. I mean, just go about my day.
No, I get that. It's all about, just being normal. Just be yourself. It all comes naturally. All right, so tell me a little bit more about, so I'm really intrigued about, it being a family business, so I want to dive deep into that. So, okay, started off with grandpops, cool. So what did that look like? Was that him buying his first primary residence and then building,
So
getting investment properties after that?
nah,
Or,
they bought their first property was an investment. They didn't. I don't think they bought a house. I think they bought a 4 unit, and they was mainly just worried about investing. And I think they end up probably living in a couple of the units while they was doing this, and then they bought a single family house. But they mainly was just out to get it off the rip. Like he worked in buildings, so he understood what was going on. And then again, that's social currency. He was meeting people who was educating them. You know what I mean? And he could help them out with their property, manage their property. So it was always making good friendships. And then my grandmother, she was a workhorse. She was really flexing on the work. I mean, she worked as a nurse assistant. I love her to death. I don't know nobody worked like her.
that's a beautiful thing. And it's so interesting, that's why it's so essential for me, I think, to, get into people's background because, I'm always intrigued by people who come from a background of entrepreneurship. And it's always, interesting to me to see how much that's influenced them. Being that your family, they knew early on, probably before they even bought their primary residence, they was thinking invest, invest, invest. How can I buy an asset to make more money? Do you think being around that coming up as a youngster, becoming a teenager, becoming an adult, becoming a grown man, what type of influence did that have? Do you feel like because that seed was
Definitely
already
has
in your
influence.
head.
I'm gonna tell you off rip.
Mhm,
Everywhere because I my my mom, she's like into like, how we dress, how we present it. So
mhm,
like we going everywhere, we the flyest kids around. I mean, we
mm,
got the stuff that the kids in the suburbs got.
yeah,
All the Jordans, we got all that. And it just you just notice like you
mhm.
hear all these experiences on one way. You hear because we going after school, we going to go play basketball down in the hood. We not going we got to play basketball. We driving 20, 30 minutes and we going in our neighborhood. Like that's really where
Right.
we grew up.
You gotta get your stripes, right?
Yeah, you feel me? Like if you ever see me post any like stuff that we've done like nonprofit wise, it most likely was in our Boys and Girls Club. Like that's really like our home. Like that Boys and Girls
Yeah,
Club. I
okay.
spent more time in that Boys and Girls Club than I spent at home, guaranteed.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, I saw that. I'm a club kid as well. I definitely was a Boys and Girls Club kid. And it's just I think Boys and Girls Club saved lives, man. I don't care what
right,
nobody say.
facts. And
You know?
honestly, if they had more people that was really like invested in giving back, it would save more lives. So like that's part of my mission too is like to give back. Like I want people to know like when you make it or when you get to a position where you're comfortable,
Yeah.
you gotta and not even sometimes it's not even about being comfortable. Sometimes you gotta be uncomfortable doing it. I remember like the first time I gave real money, it made me feel uncomfortable because I was like, just like handing money over, like dang,
Mhm.
it was uncomfortable, but like really at the end of the day, it felt good. So like it'd be stuff like that. I just felt like if more of us was really on that path, we would be able to make even a bigger difference.
Gotcha. So, you know, so out of college your first job was in the automotive industry, right? Where
Right
you were
out of
selling
college,
parts, right?
right out of college.
Gotcha. How do you think that's helped you in terms of what you do now in terms of real estate? Like, of course, you got to be a people person. They say, how has that
Oh,
background helped you?
all like really, I say like my whole background really is what prepared me to take on the car gig for real. Like growing up, I was competitive. You know what I mean? Like the car business, it's competitive,
Yeah.
and um, like I had a good friend, family, a relationship that my friend brought me into the car business. He had already been into the car business for years. Shout out to my boy Jeff, but he
Chef
was
Steph.
yeah he was in it for years, and he was doing very well. Like by the time I graduated college, he already was living in a house the size of my parents. Like it was like
Same age as you.
yeah, I mean, we the
That's
same. I known Jeff since I was like 7 years old. Like this is my guy.
Mhm.
Just like man, like so he like I think you got the personality for it. I think you could do it. And
Mhm.
really, it was crazy because all like my people who I would consider like my advisors, like people who I went to for solid counsel, they was all telling me you didn't go to school to be a car salesman. Like
Huh.
I was just
What
like,
did you go to
damn.
school for? What did you study?
I went to school for sports management.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
What did you?
I thought that I was. I really, honestly, I thought I was going to be like a GM of a team
Really?
or like or an agent.
Mhm.
Still to this day, I always like play around. Like, damn, do I really want to be an agent? Like,
Oh, we got to wrap off record.
yeah, like because I really love business and I really love the sport. So like, I feel like, and I really love the financial side that comes to it for the people that's like the athletes. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm gonna be able to put them in a better position. I don't know the exact numbers, but a lot of them don't end up with their money. So like,
Yeah.
I think something like that, or even just having ties to what I do now and
Mhm.
tying in with it more. But I just want to be involved with those young guys, man. And
Yeah.
yeah, so all of that kind of that's why I went to school. I got out of school. They was like, you didn't go to school to be a car salesman, but I knew he was doing well, and he was telling me about some of the numbers, and I'm like, well, you know, they like the average salesman makes this. I'm like, well, what do the best salesman make? So that kind of
Mhm.
was my mindset right out the gate is wanting to know what's the best salesman make and go for that. So that's
Yeah.
kind of what made me take the leap. That and I had somebody who was there to guide me. He had already progressed. He was my hiring manager. So like this
Okay.
this is like a friend, like a my
Yeah. So you had a
guy.
nice little plug.
Yeah, you feel me? So
So you had to do the work.
I'm like, nah, I'm trusting this. So I jumped off the bridge and I did it. And it was the reason why I really loved it, like right out the gate, is because there's no like hourly pay at
Yeah,
the
no ceiling. That's
yeah
why sales is so dope because you eat what you kill. You know what I'm saying? There is no ceiling.
yeah,
There is
but knowing that you don't get nothing if you don't kill nothing, that was like I loved that. That was
yeah.
like ooh, like So I could go out there and get whatever I wanted. It took me a while to really be good. Like the first year I was just decent. Second year I was better. Then
Okay.
the third year I really like found my stride. It was over after that.
How long did you do car sales?
I was in automotive sales for like 8 years.
Okay. Cool, cool, cool. So in terms of if someone's listening to this and they like, well, my family, I didn't. Oh man, I'm sorry, sir. We're intense. It be sounding like Chirac over here. But so yeah, so if someone's listening to this, it's like, well, my grandfather didn't own real estate. I didn't, people are looking at it like, well, I didn't come with that type of start. I got to get it. People love to say they got to get it out the mud, and not saying that you didn't. Everybody's journey is different. But for someone that's listening, it's like, well, how can I get that? How can I grow from 0 to 200 plus units or something? What would be your advice to someone that's like, starting at zero properties and it's like, I want to be able to build a portfolio?
I love that question, especially because like where I'm at with it is like first, it you just got to know how to get there. So first, put yourself around somebody or go somewhere to get the education that you need, right? Get that so you know the knowledge that you need. Because really, real estate's just math. It's not anything really outside of the math.
Yeah,
Knowing the criteria that you need to be approved, knowing how to analyze a deal. It's nothing really more than that. So after you get the education, then I say like one of the biggest things you could do is stay lean. Like don't go out and get a whole bunch of debt. Like a lot of people, we get confused because I guess because of what's on TV, what's on social media. We thinking that we gotta always go and run and grab the newest car or run and grab this. Like stay lean. Don't get a whole bunch of debt because the more money that you make, that means the more money of it that you can keep and do something with.
mhm,
And then prioritize your credit. Don't let
yeah.
no, don't mess up your credit. You keep those couple things intact, your income, your debt, and your credit. The sky's the limit for you.
Do you feel like a person is ever too there is a such thing as being too young to make such a purchase?
Of
Because
real estate,
I'm in my 30s and looking back at it, I'm like, man, I wish I had bought my first property. Imagine if we bought it right out of college, how much equity we would have. So I
yeah. I
yeah,
mean, it sucks to think like what you could have done, but at the same time, you better do something because you don't want to be looking back in 5, 10 years and saying, "Damn, what if I would have bought then?" Because that's really how real estate works. Like for the most part, the houses go up as time moves on. The house prices go up. So if you
yeah,
missed the opportunity 18 years ago or 15 years ago or whatever, start it now. It's never too late. It's
that's
never
very
too
true. Yeah, about that, like, I tend to believe that, the saying goes, you never be as young as you are
late.
and it's the same thing with the market. Not necessarily that the houses will never be as cheap as they are today, but it's like you're right, they're only going up. Like I look at a market like Brooklyn, New York. I was there what 2011 to 2014, and I'm like, man, if I had a bought in my hood at that time, the hood today, the very same hood, their properties are over $1 million. You know what I'm saying? I could have got in at 450, but I wasn't thinking. And I feel like I've got to the age. It's like, man, if I knew then what I know now. Now I sound like the old head. So I think it's really important for guys like yourself and people like yourself. And I'm so I think Black Twitter, Black Wealth Twitter, I like to call it, is so dope because it's like, man, if this was around when I was 18, 19, this just this plethora of free information, man, you could just dive in. It's anything you want to learn, whether about real estate, automotive sales, stocks, options. It's so much free game out there. That's why, a person like yourself, you know, give people your handle, man, because people definitely gotta follow you.
I gotta read my handle. All my handles is I try to keep them the same, but sometimes they not. So this one, so yeah, this is Legends Dad. So that's something I really take a pride in as being a dad. So
No.
Legend is my son's name. Legends
Uh-huh.
LEGENDS _ Dad DAD 1, and that's my Twitter handle.
Legends underscore dad one. Dope, dope, dope. Shout out to Legend.
Yeah.
All right. So tell me about this problem solvers get paid. I know you always hear people say, and I believe it too. You got to add value. And I think that the more value you add, the more that you'll make. Tell me about this problem solvers get paid.
So I don't like it's crazy because I don't even know like I don't know if people said that before. I don't know what happened, but I just know one day I just like stumbled upon like this. it just came out. I was like, yeah, problem solvers get paid, and it's just something that stuck. I'm like, "Yo, that's crazy. Like for real. Like no matter what no matter what you can think of, any problem that's out there, if you provide some type of convenience or solution to that problem, people are going to pay you.
Mm.
That's like, and sometimes when I say payment, I don't always mean money. Like sometimes the payment isn't money. Sometimes you get a good feeling for doing it, and that's your payment. But like whatever you decide you're getting paid for it, when you solve somebody's problem or solve a problem, you will get some form of payment. That's just
Yeah.
have to go down. And my sister is a graphic designer, so she came up with the bag that y'all see with the dollar sign in it, uh,
Dope.
the money
It's a dope
bag.
logo, by the way. Shout out to sis.
Yeah, she's crazy with the logo.
Yeah.
She's really like, I feel like she's like one of the best that I've ever seen for real. And not even just gassing her up. I just think that she's like literally that talented. She has a good eye, like a really good eye for what looks good. So
That's
yeah,
dope, man.
she made the logo and we just start putting it on merch. And sometimes some of the merch, most of it goes to my nonprofit. So most of the sales, most of the profits, I'm not sure. There might be a couple of shirts where it's not. It's on the website if it is or if it isn't. But a lot of times I send the sales to the nonprofit, trying to do some things on that end. So just trying overall just have an impact on the world.
So tell me more about this nonprofit. What is it?
Yeah,
See,
so it's called Limitless Levy.
yeah, limitless living.
We started it in 2013. Um, it was after a family friend of ours he got his life taken away due to gun violence. So
Sorry.
yeah, we was I think at the time I had just was doing a clothing brand the year before, and the next year we decided we wanted to do something as a family. Then this tragedy had happened, so then we was like, well, we're gonna make it a nonprofit because of this tragedy. So we end up doing that, and now we're just trying to really focus on like real estate, education, financial literacy through this nonprofit. So I got some things planned. I don't want to get too deep into it because we don't have all
Okay.
the things attached. But it definitely if you want more information on what we have done, you can just go to limitless .org and you can get some information.
Super dope. So is this like a national or is this local to where you guys are in North Carolina?
So it's really so far it's been everywhere where we've been. Like, we've been in Delaware. We've done a lot of stuff in Delaware. Most of the stuff we've done in Delaware has gone through that Boys and Girls Club that I was telling you about earlier. It's like, that's home, so we're gonna take care of them.
Okay.
Um, we're in fashion, so like we have merchandise. This problem solvers get paid. This is not even a part of that. This is just something I made up that I send to that. So I direct the profits to there. So it's
Dope.
not, I'm not making any money. So like when y'all do buy and support the brand, I'm not pocketing the money. It's going somewhere else, like to do some other things.
Hmm.
But yeah, so this is not even a part of it. We was doing fashion, so we put together like a whole. I have a whole young professional career line. It just not have been the right time to put it out, like a suit, button up shirt. I got a
Okay.
women's dress. I got it's crazy, but so we was doing fashion. We was working with manufacturers up in New York. So we did some stuff up there with a school and fashion, like a fashion show, a couple of them, 3, 4 in a row.
Okay.
Just been
Dope.
around for real. So we just doing it wherever we at. But the real estate stuff that we about to get into is going to primarily be in North Carolina.
Man, talk a little bit. It sounds like you guys got your hands in a little bit of everything. How dope is it, to make it a family affair? Talk a little bit about that. It seems that you do a lot with your family.
Yeah, I mean, my like it's like who I that's like my starting five. Like
Okay.
I'm taking them anywhere. That's who I rock with. Like
Mhm.
for me, like personally, I'm 31. I'm not no like big go out type of guy. Like I'm not no hit the scene type of guy. But if you tell me that, the majority of my family, my immediate family, my brother,
Mhm.
my sisters, my dad, my mom is going, then yeah, let's go. We could go anywhere. Like
Dope.
that's what we rock with. And then like it's definitely not all peaches and cream. It's actually really tough, right? Because one thing that people don't take into consideration when this is one of my favorite topics too, when they talk about like generational wealth, is
Yeah.
when you talk generational wealth, you talk multiple generations, you talk about multiple people. So like mindsets and things have to shift, and that doesn't always happen smoothly. Like it
Yeah.
goes from being like something that you build into a full all out business, and then you scrambling trying to figure out how to put it all together. So it's definitely a lot of aches and bruises doing it, but it's fun to learn. I'm learning with them, and then it's we got a lot of different people that we get to work with, make connections with. So our team as a whole our team as a whole is dope, and I got other family that work on the projects too. So like that's also dope. It's not just my immediate, but I got cousins and stuff that help.
Yeah. That's super dope, man. So, what does that look like for you? It sounds like you're a man with a lot of vision. You have your hands in a lot of different successful things. So, in terms of that execution, does it just start with a vision and then it just goes into implementing the plan to like executing? What does
I
that look?
mean,
Or do you do it like this year I'm focusing on this, or how does that look like for you?
like honestly, I think that's why I feel like that's why I'm not getting more stuff done. That's not. I feel like when we talked about earlier, like this is big. I feel like yeah. I mean, whatever. I mean, I just feel like we could be better at the execution. I'm not like overall satisfied of like where we're at. And you know what I mean? Like it just comes with trying to get better every day. And that's really what we're at, trying to get better and put things together better. You know what I mean? This was not something that was always ran like a business, like at all. So
Yeah,
just trying to get it to a point where it's like, you
yeah,
know,
it's growing pains.
yeah,
Trial
for
and error.
sure.
So that's,
Sure.
but the hold on, Momo, you are loud. Um, but yeah, I lost my train of thought there. What was I gonna say? So, what do you feel like? So, I noticed also that not only are you an investor, but you're also an agent. What made you go ahead and get your real estate license? And I know you call yourself the investor's agent. Like, why do you? Why was that essential to you as well?
Well, the license was the first part because we're in multifamily, like commercial, and
Hmm.
so really it was just a standpoint. It's like, yo, there's money being exchanged here by an agent. We could keep that money in house. Like, what we doing? So somebody get a license. So I raised my hand. I went and got the license. Um, yeah, that really was the game plan there. And until it was the game plan until I got with EXP. Like EXP kind of changed my thought process of being an agent. That company is like so crazy. Like anybody who's thinking about being a realtor needs to really look at EXP as a
But like, is it something good or
that's
something
so good.
bad?
Yeah, no, it's amazing. Like it's a brokerage, like how you got your Remax, your
Yeah.
Keller Williams. It's a brokerage like that, but like the opportunity for you as a investor, mind you, I'm telling you, I grew up in real estate. I really understand like the metrics of being like an investor, like numbers and how to put these things together. I ain't gonna even say I'm not no like the best, but I'll say I'm definitely not the average in terms of the numbers and stuff. Like I really dig numbers. I dig calculations. Give me
Okay.
the formulas and the equations. I try to figure it out the best of my ability. But
Okay.
as far as looking at things from that standpoint, I just know that like the opportunity that you can have as an agent and get equity into a company that's traded on Nasdaq through your regular like real estate transactions,
Mm.
it's just nothing like it. It's
Oh,
nothing.
that's interesting. I never knew that they offered that to their agents. That's pretty cool. That's neat.
And then they have like an agent attraction model too. So like how you hear like some people will call it like MLM.
Hmm.
You got like you're familiar with MLM format, obviously the
Yeah,
company.
yeah, for sure.
So they
ALA,
it's,
MLA, yeah.
it's like that,
Hmm.
but it's based off of their production. But y'all sharing revenue, so I'm getting paid for every person that comes in underneath me. You know what I mean? Every time they do a transaction, I'm getting paid. When they bring
Nice.
somebody on, I'm getting paid from under them. It goes down 7 tiers, like how MLM company does. It's wild, like it's crazy.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, multi-level. That's pretty cool. Okay, so for someone listening that wants to get their first property, how I know you hear so many different things out here. So, it's like information overload, especially on Twitter, YouTube. Some people say that don't buy your primary residence first. You don't want to buy a single family, and I know your expertise is in multifamily. So, would you suggest that a person getting their first property it should be a multifamily, or what's your thoughts on that?
Nah, I just think you got to be educated on your market and what your market allows, and what your temperament is as a person. Like, what are you willing to sacrifice as far as your comfort in order to get your deal done? because you could very easily have a 3 4 bedroom single family house and rent out the bedrooms and be have a multi-family house essentially. You're housing 3 4 people. They're paying you rent. That rent is essentially going to your bills. You're doing the same thing that you would with a multi-unit property.
True.
So it's just really about your level of expertise. Like, if do you know your market? What are the laws there? Um, but it's definitely it's good if you can make it a multifamily, 4 unit, 3 unit.
Yeah.
With all the incentives that they have for first time home buyers, 3.5% down,
Mhm.
and for income they counting 50 to 75% of the property's income towards yours to make
Yeah.
it so you can afford it. It's a lot of benefits to that. But you just
It's
got to try to be knowledgeable.
so in terms of building a portfolio, how can people get access to capital and OPM? Like outside of obviously we know about the FHA program and put down 3.5% and getting in the game, but outside of if you want to continue to build, I know a lot of people are familiar with the Bird method, but what's your thoughts on getting to capital?
I mean, honestly, I don't have too much experience dealing with like capital. Yeah, we don't do too much with that. Uh,
Okay. All right.
but I would say it's really about the deal. I mean, if you can find a good deal, you'll be able to find somebody who will give you some
Fund it.
capital.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they say find the asset and the money will come. That's what
yeah.
they
I mean,
say.
that's like I've wholesale contracts, and it's literally if your numbers are good, you're not gonna have no problem
Yeah.
getting it sold just because it's people are always looking for a good deal. And there's literally and you can ask in your Facebook groups and
Hmm.
even go on like some of these platforms,
Hmm.
Blacker Pockets, Bigger Pockets, and
Yeah.
find some of these lenders, tell them what you got, and
Hmm.
they'll run it down for you if you can or not. But you're gonna have to have some money if you're looking for some of that ulterior financing. A lot of times you're gonna need something. So
Yeah. So I
yeah.
know you just dropped your first digital product. You want to tell the audience a little bit about that?
Oh yeah, so I told you earlier I was in the car business for 8 years, and really like I got out the car business the whole time, not the whole time, but when I had started to get figure it out and get good at it, I
Yeah.
just started also feeling bad about it at the same time. Like it was like, yo, like damn, you running it up, and like these people, you build a relationship with these people. Sometimes it's like a very quick, but sometimes it's a very like intimate relationship. This is the second largest expense they're gonna have in their house. So you get to really knowing people, knowing their situations and stuff. So like I'm starting to think like, damn, I'm making money, but like I feel like I'm getting over. Like
Oh, dang.
so, it's always something and that was like a part of like the reason why the nonprofit made was making sense too. It's like yeah, we got to give back. Like we got to do stuff for the community. Like you can't be out here making money and not giving back to these people. Like,
Yeah,
especially the way that I was doing it. I just felt like it was. I ain't gonna say slimy. I just ain't feeling
it wasn't it.
dang, yeah. Like I feel like dang, I really could have got them a better deal. Like,
Yeah,
but at the same
that's
time,
great.
you get into there. You have a job. Your job is to make money for the
Gotta
deal
make more money.
that they happy, right? Like they not signing off on no deal that they not happy with. At the end of the day,
Yeah,
they buying the car because they feel like that's what made them happy, and I just knew how to get the number where I needed it to be. Like I was could do that. I had an arc in
yeah,
it,
that makes sense. No, you're absolutely right.
and so yeah, I put out the book to give to change the process a little bit to put the ball back in the consumers' court a little bit. You know what I mean? If you follow the book, I'm also putting out a document bundle that will follow the book, so it'll keep everything that I say in the book kind of in line, like almost like a workbook. And
Okay.
yeah, you get by the time you get done, your car search should be very easy. Like your everything should go very smoothly.
So if a person don't want to get swindled, they shouldn't go on a car on the market and buy a vehicle without reading your book, right?
Now they need to buy the book. You
Yeah.
need first you need to follow me on Twitter. That's the first thing because literally it's so much free information on there. If you
Yeah,
just
man.
search my hashtag how to beat the dealer, you're gonna find some information. Like I
Uh-huh.
give out so much information for free. That's going to first validate me. So you're going to first be like, oh snap, this is stuff I didn't know, and then you're gonna say, okay, let me read the book. The book you gotta now the book and the document bundle is separate, so you gotta get the document bundle with the book. unless you pre-order. Pre-orders is out right now. I don't know when they're going to hear this episode, but right now I got pre-orders out till September 18th. So
No.
uh, if that's the case, definitely jump on it. And the document bundle will come with all pre-orders. So hop on it while you can.
Okay. Okay. Dope. 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 All right. I want to. Speaking of your Twitter, you had one. Oh, a lot of your tweets stand out to me, and I'm like, dang, like that one, like that one. I know you be like, dang, this girl like all my tweets. I'll be retweeting. But I actually got to get better with Twitter, man. I just deactivated my Facebook. I was the old head. Like. I felt like Facebook is more like I could put. It's not. I'm not limited to 140 characters and stuff like that. I can get because I can get long winded. You know what I'm saying? I be going in with the not Twitter fingers, Facebook fingers. You know what I'm saying? But I do got to get more active in Twitter because I just think it's a difference in vibes. It's a difference in audience. It's a difference in it's not a black wealth Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'll take that back. There's some groups on Facebook, so I don't want to
Yeah.
take that away from
But I'm
Facebook.
not super active on Facebook, so I
Yeah,
can't
most
say
people
that
aren't.
about the.
I'm noticing. But you had one tweet. You was like, it's actually pinned. It's your pinned tweet now. It's like you said, y'all respect people's pockets more than their character. That's why we'll never see eye to eye. So, I'm one person that always say, like that Jay Z line, real recognize real, you looking real familiar. Oh, it was that Jay Z. Oh, it was some rapper. They like real recognize real, and you looking familiar. Something like that.
I,
But anyway, tell me a little bit about that tweet. Like you felt
I
like,
feel like I don't care. Money you cannot impress upon me with money. Like I don't care about money. Like and it's not that I mean it's I don't care about it in the way that other people care about it. My use for money is to impact like the world. Like I'm not looking at it to I want to go get fly. I want to go like anything that you see that I have is because I really enjoy it. Like I spend my money on things that I really enjoy. People they probably laugh at me. I don't my clothes don't ever really change because when I buy something, I plan to keep it. Like
you wear it.
yeah, like like and I'm gonna wear it multiple times. You're gonna see
Right.
yeah,
Same
like
here.
I'm sorry, but like that's just how I am. I'm regardless of what they saying, that's just not what I'm into. So like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like my the way that I look at money is a little bit differently. So like you can't just look at the stuff that people got. It's like what type of person are you? Like who are
Mm.
you? Like
What do you think that comes from? Like, why do you think people care more about shiny things and superficial things more than
it's a
they do
lack of love
character?
and support. It's a lack of love and support and mental illness. So not for real, not
Period.
period. That's mental. It's a lack of support, love, and mental illness. Like people are out here trying to get love from people that they don't even know because
Mm,
whatever is going on in a close situation, it don't feel like the love that they want to feel.
mm,
I told you my family is my ride or die. My son, my daughter, my lady, like
mhm,
my close knit family. I could sit in this house. I could sit in this house forever if
mhm.
they with me. If my family is here, I'm cool. Like
Right. That's how it should be.
I just feel like the people that's around me, they make it like that. And so it's a lot of people that's out here. They see how the rappers get the love. They see how people comment and they like and they
Hmm.
this social media stuff got people like real like messed up, real
Yeah,
messed
it's weird. It's weird
up.
times. No, you're right though. That's super true. All right, so I want to switch things up and get into some hoop stuff. I love my basketball. I don't know if you know, I'm also an agent. That's why we definitely got to wrap off of this. But you had this tweet when you was like, I don't know if you retweeted somebody or if it was from you, and you said no, there's no universe where talking about Vince Carter. Vince Carter belongs in the convo with D Wade. You got to break that
I
one down. Now, a lot of people
don't,
call me. Most of my friends call me a D Wade hater. We gonna get on that, but yeah, you explain
I'm
that one.
D, listen, the thing about D Wade, this is what I always say about D Wade.
Yeah, I'm about to kill your
Listen,
argument. Oh,
listen,
let's
the thing I say
go.
about D Wade wasn't a super polished like offensive player. But you couldn't stop him from doing what he wanted to do. He was going to get to that right hand finish. He was going to finish with the left. He was going to shoot in the midi. Going to shoot his little fade away. You couldn't stop D Wade from doing what he wanted to do. Where D Wade really impresses over most guards, same place where Kobe do, same place where Jordan do, is on defense. He ain't no slouch. D Wade plays D Wade in his best in his heyday was a defender. He locked in. that stuff is different. Like that's a different type of player. Like
Well, if you want to say Vince, if you want to say Dwayne was a better defender than Vince, of course, that's no
yeah,
argument.
better overall. He scored more. He carried the load. Yeah,
See, here's my issue with D Wade fans, right? I think a lot of people overrate him because of the accolades, because of the three rings. But little do people fail to realize or want to admit he's only you're only as great as the people around you. He was fortunate enough to get drafted to Miami, and they made the trade. Pat Riley and his magic worked his magic, made the trade for Shaquille O'Neal. LeBron later came and signed. You know, if he did not have those teammates, he would be another Tracy McGrady. He would be another Vince Carter. But a lot of it, like Kobe said, is luck. He was fortunate. He's played with great Hall of Fame players. He has shown you his lack of ability to get things done in the playoffs without these top tier players. And that's the thing that I take issue with that people never want to admit. You take LeBron away from D Wade, you take Shaq away from D Wade. D Wade is a first round exit. So now we're getting into the Tracy McGrady trajectory type of conversation. So when people say like he's a better player or all around, you said than Vince Carter, I take exception to that because I don't think he's a better all around player. He's a better defender, but he wasn't a better shooter. He wasn't a better. I don't think he was a better killer. I think D Wade made his name off one finals run against the
no,
Dallas Mavericks.
that rookie year playoffs was serious. That's when I knew that D Wade was it. Was the rookie year when he was going at Baron Davis.
He wasn't rookie of the year. He
He
wasn't
wasn't rookie of the year, but in the playoffs, he was going ham in those playoffs. D Wade he went
So let me ask you: if they bring
nuts
that
in those
team
playoffs.
back and he stays with that team for years and years, Caron Butler, Lamar Odom, what does that look like? What's that ceiling
I
for
don't know. Like that's the one thing I'll tell you. Like honestly, I'm not like a big what if guy because I really don't know.
They
Like yo,
were getting past
like
Cleveland with Mo
like
Williams
like
and
Kobe.
Chris Adolphus.
I just don't know. I don't know. I can't really guess. I can't really.
But see, we can though, because we have facts. He has seasons to where he didn't play with these star players, and he showed you what he can do. His
Yeah, but
knees
he was
can
like
only
he
go
was
so
still like an
far by
MVP
himself.
candidate. Even those years that he was not winning, he was an MVP candidate. D Wade was nasty. Yeah, he was. D Wade was nasty
No,
every
I don't
year.
get this D Wade thing. D
Yeah, he
Wade had
was.
a
No
moment of
lie. Like
time.
no lie. D Wade was must see basketball. He was. No lie.
Some
And,
more.
and and don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Vince Carter had his time, but soon as Vince Carter gave up, and the same thing happened to D Wade. Soon as Vince Carter went away from it being like him being the man,
Yeah.
he kind of lost his way with
Well,
like
it was his knees that gave out. Same thing with D
yeah,
Wade.
yeah, true. Not no knocking, but I'm just saying, like overall, because when I say that statement, like I don't even necessarily mean as a basketball player, because really it's only but so many shooting guards in the league that's that
That's right.
caliber of
Yeah.
player. Vince Carter, he's that caliber of shooting guard to
But
ever
see,
play in
I
the league.
don't know. You got people that's really in some alternate universe have him ahead of Allen Iverson in terms of shooting guards.
True.
When it comes to stacking up, you got Jordan, Kobe, AI. You have people saying that D Wade is the better three, is the better, person.
They only give him that because of his accolades. That's the only reason why he gets it, and that standpoint.
Okay, so we
There's no
can
way.
agree that he's not
Yeah,
better than AI.
heck no, heck no.
Okay, perfect.
AI might be pound for pound the best to ever play. That's my guy. I don't care what nobody say. I love AI. He's the people's champ.
I rock with you.
I'm never going against AI ever.
Cool. So let me ask you, so who's your top five in the league right now? What top five look like for you?
I don't got no order on the top five. I
Okay.
can't really pick.
Oh,
I
you
can't
plead
pick
the fifth.
yeah, 'cause I don't. You know why? I'm gonna tell you. It's that I don't want to pick the order.
Okay. Just give me your five. It ain't even got to be in order.
All right, so I'm gonna say Bron, KD,
You said AD or KD?
KD,
Okay.
Bron, KD, Giannis.
Okay.
Man, this is where it gets tricky at right here.
It gets tricky after three because you got to cut somebody and you know it.
Hmm. I'm not putting Kawhi in my top five because I actually like Paul George better than Kawhi, so I'm not gonna put him in there.
Oh my gosh, me too. We're like the only person, the only people.
Yeah, I like Paul George better than Kawhi, but then I say, man, so now I'm gonna say fourth. I might gotta go Steph on fourth
Okay.
because
Respect.
just even though if he's not the complete player that these other guys is, he what he does, nobody can stop it. It's just he does it so far better than anybody else. You got to give him respect for that. So
Chef.
then after the chef, I'm gonna say mm, after the chef, I'm gonna say Embiid.
Ooh, you went off the beaten path there.
Yeah, I like Embiid. I like Embiid better than Jokic. I think Embiid should have been the MVP last year. Embiid or Chris Paul should have been the
Yeah, I felt like
MVP.
Chris Paul should have been. Yeah, my 4 or 5 is different than yours. I mean, I get stuff 4, but I gotta go Harden number 5. Harden got to be in
I'm
the top.
not like I'm not like a big Harden guy. He like what I say about James Harden is he is the best rule manipulator in the NBA's ever been around, and I'm not mad at him about that. That's what you're supposed to do. That's strategy. You know what I mean? If you're using the rules to benefit you, then I
Mhm.
ain't gonna be mad at you.
It's
He's one of
skill
the
too,
best.
though. The man's
It
footwork.
is. It is skill. It's definitely skill. Well, and I know it's. I'm gonna tell you it's a high skill because I still play in the morning. So
Okay.
like I'll play 3 days a week. All those double step backs, having your legs to shoot it and then shoot it from where he's shooting at NBA range.
Yeah,
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 that
yeah.
stuff ain't
It's
easy. Like,
not easy.
yeah, it's definitely not easy. He's
No.
one of them ones, but I feel like he should be better defensively. Like he's
I
big.
think he's made strides. He's gotten better.
He's gotten better. He's gotten better as a team defender. He's putting in
But
more
see, here's
effort.
the thing. You know the defensive thing or the rule manipulation is what keeps Harden out of your top 5 personally. But like, what's interesting, and I don't think it's just you. I know it's not just you. It's mainstream media too. Like, people will highlight his terrible, or not even. I don't think it's terrible anymore. I think he's gotten better. But people will go out their way to highlight his defensive deficiencies, but they push forward Steph and like ignore his
Yeah,
defense.
So so
They're like, oh, he gets an E for effort. He gets an A for
I'm
effort.
gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you for real. And I only if
Because
you ask
really,
me
Steph
like
is a worse defender than
I'm gonna tell
James.
you for real about me. This is the first time you probably people haven't even ever heard me put Steph in my top 5. Because my honest opinion is, how can you be a defensive liability and then be a top player in the league? That to me does not
And
mean top players. Like
yeah,
I feel like the top players can impact the ball on both, can impact the game on both sides of the basketball. Those
yeah.
are the
How you gonna be
top
top 5 and
players.
they want to force the switch to draw you as a defender? And
That's what I'm saying.
I've
Yeah,
been on
that's
the island by myself for the past 8 years, criticizing stuff about this very thing, and I've
uh,
been preaching till I'm blue in
that's
the face,
real.
and people looking at me like I'm crazy.
No, that's real. I like at this point after last year, I'm like, damn, you know what? Even so, I felt like he was giving better effort, but what he was just doing offensively was just I just ain't never. I just felt like, man, that's crazy. Like every
He's
night
any
he's
type of player. You know how when we was kids, we used to say, "My offense is my defense."
yep,
He's that,
yep,
but he's that to the highest extent. You
yeah. Like whoever's guarding them, they gonna work, so they gonna be
Yeah.
tired. They're not even gonna be even no type of threat on offense. They're gonna be
But see,
tired.
here's the thing: when Steph is not on, he's a liability on defense. So if he's not hitting offensively, I mean, he's just being a proxy. Like, what really is Steph
And
really
but
lacking?
nobody's gonna ever think that Steph is off, so he's always gonna get a reaction, which is really all he really needs.
Yeah,
If
he's
as long as
definitely.
people are running out at his face, he could take one dribble, take two dribbles, make a dish, or get an easier shot. Like he's Steph Curry. He's a threat. That's really the
I was
bulk.
the person back, and I still to this day feel this way, and I'll probably go to the grave feeling this way. I feel like Kyrie Irving is a better player.
Overall, he may be. I mean, he may be. He may not just be as good as a 3 point shooter, but like
Yeah,
I feel like if he's not a better player, then he's not. They're probably the same, or he's definitely not no far better. Kyrie is one of them ones. Like when they talk about like scoring in the NBA,
yeah.
everybody always will say, yeah, KD is the best, but Kyrie is the same animal that KD is.
He just not
Oh,
6'11"
he's
with
not
a
6'11",
7 1
but
wingspan.
it doesn't even matter because you can't contest the shot.
Yeah,
No
yeah,
matter where he takes a shot from, it's going to be uncontested. 1-on-1, he's
yeah.
what KD is. He's just whatever 6'4" or whatever, however tall he is.
6'2". Let me ask you this: KD or LeBron, if you could pick.
Am I playing in this game or just watching?
Just do an eye test. Just you're not even playing in the game. You just,
I feel like I feel like I could build a team around either one of them with no problem, like at all.
I
But
think
I love the way that I love the way that KD plays. Like,
Right.
don't get me wrong, I like LeBron as a. Like, I feel like LeBron should be much more dominant as a scorer. Like, even though he's one of the, he's one of the top scorers in league history just by doing what he does well. I just feel like if like Jordan averaged 34, 35, I feel like LeBron could probably average 40 in these leagues. I really feel like he should have went for that one year just to show us like
Yeah, I
what
think that
he's.
take away from the player that he is, though. He's such a distributor, but he can
Yeah,
score. You know.
I know, but it's like so easy for him. Like that's the thing. It's like if you have this advantage every single time down the floor, and nobody, I can understand you like, but 40, he shoots like 60% once he gets like three
Mhm.
steps in from the foul line.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
feel like he could get 40. I feel like he could get 40 every night.
You're right. It would have been nice, 26, 27-year-old Brown, probably Miami Brown. That would have been a place to do it.
Yep.
That
Yeah,
would
he
have,
would have had to do it then.
yeah. But it's gonna be interesting. Hopefully, we get that Brooklyn Lakers finals in June. You
I'm
know.
not hoping that. I'm hoping that the Sixers get in the finals. I don't care about the Nets.
Okay. Well, I mean, good luck with that Ben Simmons experiment. We'll see.
But the thing is, I like Ben Simmons. I just think that one, I honestly, not from the outside looking in, I don't like how either the media is portraying the way he's handling his business, or the way that he's actually handling his business. But the way that it's being portrayed in the media, I hope that's not how he's handling it. Like I wouldn't be like. I think he just need to just go to work. Like you know,
Yeah.
and that team is good. Like that team really is good. Doc got to figure out. I think I'll tell you what. I think Doc is one of the most overrated coaches to ever be in the game. Like he gets a lot of credit. He gets a lot of credit for it, and I'm not really sure why. Like,
I mean, it's with the exception of this year, I don't know if they just made some type of initiative, which is great to see. But like, it's hard for me to knock a black coach because it's such limited seats that we fill. But like, I think Doc has gotten them. He's been made the scapegoat for the 3-1 lead or the playoff failures that he's had. He can't help that his team. I don't think it's a reflection of the coaching. His team has just choked. And he's
all
been.
those times, he's the common denominator.
He
You know what I
can't.
mean?
He, he can't go on the floor and play for them though. He
Yeah,
can't
but I'm
help
just
that
saying, but
Chris
all
Paul
these,
get hurt.
but look at all these times these 3-1 leads happen. What is the common denominator? It's not the players because it'd be different players from different teams. So it's not the players. They all have one common denominator. It's
But,
just
but
how
Paul George has always been a choker, and Kawhi has never really been the centerpiece. I mean,
Kawhi has two championships.
Kawhi has two championships, but it's like, I mean, the San Antonio one, he was not the focal point. The Toronto one, LeBron had left the East. KD went down, Clay went down. It kind of was like timing. Right place, right time. Toronto was already right there, and then once the Beast of the East left, it was like and then you bring in the missing piece of Kawhi, and it's like and then Golden State gets unhealthy, so it's like and then like they only beat Philly by a luck shot, a luck roll. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard for me to this Kawhi thing. I don't know. I don't know if people were just trying to kill LeBron off mainstream media, but like this Kawhi push was like so premature, and I never understood it.
Not and like for real, it was so premature because Kawhi is like supposed to be in his prime. So like all those top defensive right now, I feel like he gets steals and stuff, but they give him a lot of credit for defense that he's not even playing just because
Right?
it's his name. Like
Yeah.
Kawhi is not the defender that he was in San Antonio. Like he was locked down in San Antonio.
And
Right
even
now,
in the MVP Finals year, I mean, he was rewarded MVP, and his man Bron, the guy he was defending, LeBron, averaged what? Put 35 and 8 on his head. You know
yeah.
what I'm
Like,
saying?
I mean, and maybe he made it tough for him, but like I just feel like Kawhi could be better on defense right now. Like honestly, I feel like Paul George is a better defender than him right now at this point in their career. Like Paul George, like even with the Dallas Mavericks series, they were saying like, "Oh, somebody needs to step up." Da da da. Paul George was the one that was guarding
I
them down
think
the
Paul
stretch.
George is a better player.
I
You know,
really do. I think he does more with the basketball. Don't get me wrong. Kawhi may get to his spot and be more efficient basketball player, but as far as talent, what somebody can actually do with the basketball, I got
Paul
Paul
George a
George.
bad dude.
Yeah, he's a bad man.
Yeah, a lot of people talk trash about him. Oh, playoff P. I know that's the running joke, but at the end of the day, as far as if you know basketball, That man is nice. It's not too many players that's smoother and that's more fundamentally skilled than Paul George. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Yeah. Before those
Kawhi is
injuries,
way
man.
more surgical. You know, his whole movement is way more. They two different players, but like I always felt like the Clippers offense needed to go through Paul George. But hey,
Facts.
not
It
the
plays. It works so much better when it does. Like the, it works so much better when it goes through Paul George. It just flows. You got somebody who can break you down off the dribble, but shuffle that ball up. Kawhi can hit the open man from across the field. You load up on a side, double him, try to cut off angles to him. He can find an open man like that. But Paul George is shifty with it. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't think
man.
Kawhi got that.
And he get to it so effortlessly. You know what I'm saying? He's so fluid with the ball in his hands. It's beautiful basketball. I really enjoy watching Paul George play basketball,
I
man.
really do.
So, but yeah, man, this has been great. You got any gems or nuggets or anything you want to drop? You know, I'm gonna close out here. You got any last minute remarks?
Nah, so just understand the motto is problem solvers get paid. Understand that it's opportunity out here for you, no matter where you starting at. It's not about that. Because even if you somebody who started with something, just know you can mess it up too. We done seen it. There's a saying out there too for these businesses that get passed down the third to the generations. They say by the third generation is gonna lose it all. So like just understand like it's not easy out here no matter where you at. And you can get it, it's opportunity. Just keep pushing. And if there's anything you feel like I can help you with, definitely reach out.
Gotcha. That's love. Also, man, you know this for the culture. We always talk buckets and music. So, and going on right now in music, you got Certified Lover Boy by Drake dropping soon, and Donda by Kanye West just dropped. So I always had this conversation with some of my best friends in terms of Kanye versus Drake. I got my one best friend. She's a huge Drake fan. And I'm always telling her like, "Yo, he is nowhere in Kanye's dimension." So I want to ask you this: Kanye or Drake? Who you taking? If we just talking pure rap.
I don't know. Like I'm not like huge fans. Like I listen to Drake, I listen to Kanye, but like I'm not like even with like I haven't even listened to Kanye's new album yet. I'm gonna plan. I plan on. I won't listen to that until it dies down from everybody else, so I can just listen to it.
Yeah.
With no noise. Same like Drake is I guess about to drop too, but I'm not. It come out. I'll wait till it dies down. But I'm really just looking forward to Meek. I'm a Meek fan. So
Okay.
when Meek drops, that's what we playing.
Is he dropping soon? It's been a
I mean,
while.
I just feel like he gotta be. He's putting out a lot of music right now. So
Yeah.
that's stuff
I
that's
like
coming
me.
up. Yeah, that's my boy.
That's what's up. All right, Terrence, man, this has been great. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you follow him. You can find him at what is it, legends underscore dad one.
Yep.
All right, make sure you follow him on Twitter. And I am Tay Jordan. This has been another episode, the return episode of For the Culture podcast. And peace and love.